Sometimes we are always chasing money, but what I've learned in poultry, you don't need to chase money. Start like this and the money will always chase you. You offer your own labor with the simple management. There is no need for a bigger space, but with a simple small land, you can turn it into a productive business. I'm assuring you that unless when you start something, you won't have all the answers that you have in your head. So it's good to make the quick decisions. If you decide that I want this kind of business, I want to start poultry, start with what you have immediately. Don't overthink about it, because you might start to become too emotional. Will I make it? What if I fail? The moment you keep on pushing the time, you put the business into a pause. So time passes. So when you start the business immediately, you get the experience first and the money will come to you first without waiting for the perfect time or for you to become perfect. I'm going to mix some layers with the local birds in here, because the local birds are in a chicken house that I want to brood day-old chicks layers, and I have some weaker chickens that are here that I removed from the bigger houses. So if you separate the chicken that are weak from others, you're preventing death. If you leave them inside there, they are going to die quickly. So I'm preventing death. Once I put them inside here, they recover slowly, but they don't die. In poultry, there are challenges. As you can see that I'm transferring this chicken to these houses, because these ones that are layers inside here, they're not laying at all. And they will spend like 3 weeks to 4 weeks without laying. But once they recover, they will lay again. So if you want to start this kind of business, just know you have to become that ambitious person, in that you focus on what you want, because not every day will be your harvest. Just know you can harvest a little today and the next day you fail to harvest, the other day you harvest a lot. But when you do the business consistently and repeatedly, you can do millions from this kind of business. Poultry is very good, and I'm talking out of experience. You can make huge amount of money from poultry farming. These chicken are 5 months old. The one that I've been debaking, the 3 months old, but you can see that the speed in growth. I didn't buy any chicken. The two they were given to me, the female chicken, and I found myself with the male chicken from the layers. So I decided for this chicken to hatch their own eggs. Now the chicken are multiplying, they're growing fast without putting much effort. I'm not doing a lot to this chicken. So I should say that starting small is the best way for a low income earner. You will not regret. I decided to focus on one thing, and I think it is the best way to make millions, because you learn what has to be done via that project. I decided to do chicken because I want to make money from layers mostly. So I learn when to buy feeds, what month prices of eggs go down, which month do I need to brood the day-old chicks, where can I buy good chicks, where can I buy quality feeds, how can I do this business and expand. So you learn each and everything if you decide to focus on one particular item. So if you jump from this to the other, it's not good, because you can fail to settle or to handle one item and make a lot of money from it. My secret is, when I brood the chicken, I wait for them to lay the eggs, then I sell the older birds. In that, I don't allow the market, I don't pause the market. If they need eggs, I have to supply the eggs. So if you're a kind of person who always first sell the older birds and you bring the new ones, then you let your customers to buy eggs from others. I'm not meaning that it is bad, but you have to be consistent in the business. You have to know every time you take a pause, you're out of the business. You find that 10% or 20% is taken away from you by other people. So it is good. You brood chicks, you wait for them to lay, you sell the older birds. These ones are laying, you supply them in other chicken houses. So it's good even to have enough space. I'm not saying that if you have small land, you cannot be consistent in this business. You can construct 3 floors of chicken houses even if you have a small backyard. So you find yourself that you're raising older chicken on the lower floor, you're brooding other chicks on the second floor, and the third floor, it might be your store. You can understand that. So you find yourself that you're selling the older birds on the lower floor, and the second floor has started laying. So it is very easy. It's not all about that I'm having a lot of chicken houses. I started like that with 500 chicken, and I've never taken a break ever since I started poultry. It's a good business, but it has its own challenges. There is no business that is always smooth, moving smooth. There are challenges, there are cost of feeds that are increasing all the time, there are diseases that are attacking the chicken, and you have to buy the medicine for the chicken is expensive. However, we also use local all herbs, but once you get a disease that requires the quick medication, you have to buy. You shouldn't wait for to use herbs once you get a disease that you don't understand in the birds. You make quick decision when it comes to treating. Once you see the chicken that are weak, bring the medicine immediately. Once you see that the feed cost is going to increase, keep the money aside that will buy your feeds. My dear friends, I've seen that people are complaining about the increased cost of feeds. I'm still having the feeds in the store because I learned that once you stock the feeds, you're done. When it comes to making money, it requires you to be with the feeds and the low cost of feeds in your store. You make money from poultry because even if the egg prices go down, you still make profits. But if you're depending on both feeds every week, it's hard to maintain your profits. You always buy the feeds and feed your chicken, and you'll be waiting for the drop in the feeds, which takes like 2 months to 4 months. Because we all know that 90% of our feeds is taken by the maize. Maize has to be grown within 4 months. And we know that once they start to harvest, it is time when the feeds are dropping. If they start to plant maize, the feeds will always increase. If we experience hot seasons for a long time, the feeds will always increase. However much the suppliers of feeds will be with a lot of stock, but they have to first see some heavy rains before they sell all their stock and prepare themselves for the new harvest. So that is how it works. In poultry, you need feeds, you need medication, and a conducive environment for your chicken. That is all. You always see progress in your chicken. Just know that this is a journey. So whatever you're experiencing, you should not make the mistake repeatedly. If last season you failed to buy the feeds in bulky, this season you have to buy feeds in bulky so that you don't make the slight mistake of not making profits consistently. Starting is very easy, but people fail to maintain the business and they run out of the business just because of increased feeds and the diseases. But you can handle what the chicken need. It's you to be around in that when they get sick, you bring the medicine immediately. So this has been a journey, knowing what I want and starting it immediately. from raising chicken, animals, growing food. I've grown my own food with my own hands, the fruits, slowly but sure. The small amount of money you're having is a seed of gold. It's better to plant it and you see growth. Thanks a lot for watching. Let's meet in the next one. Bye.